Okay, so it's been about 3 weeks since I extracted this hive out of a house and moved the colony over to my Topbar hive here in the backyard. I waited 3 weeks before I opened up. This is the very first time I've opened the hive since I moved them, because I want to make sure that the bees have had a chance for any of the brood or eggs that were in the comb at the time to have completely hatched out. So that today what I'll be looking for is evidence that there are larvae, eggs, or significant capped brood in the hive today, which would indicate that there's a queen, or evidence that they've raised up an emergency queen cell, and that would have also had time to hatch between now and the time that I put them in the colony. So this will be my first look. Hopefully they've got some activity going, and they'll be able to keep going with either a new queen or the queen from the old hive, but we'll find out. This is kind of a surprise day. So here we go. You can see here, this is pretty much all hatched out. There was capped brood in here and everything when I got the hive out, and a little bit of pollen, and they pretty much cleaned that one out. This one as well, you can see they've pretty well completely hatched out and cleaned out this piece of comb as well. They've drawn a little bit of new comb right up here on this corner. You can see by the different colors. So that's new, but they haven't really attached it all the way up yet. But they've done some work on the comb. Again, you can see they have pretty well cleaned out this comb. There's not hardly anything on it anymore. There's no brood, there's no honey, there's no pollen or anything in this comb. There's lots of capped honey. Now that's mostly sugar water. I've been feeding them pretty intensely, so they've been storing some of that up toward the front of the hive. I don't see a lot of activity. There is some capped brood down here, but this might be just a few leftovers from the old hive. But there's a lot of nectar drying in there. There's some of it is you can see some of it they've capped, and there looks to be a little bit more capped brood down here, but it's not a strong laying pattern, if that's what it is. I don't see much going on. But this is heavy. When they start putting up honey stores, it's heavy. And this little piece of comb right here, they have built out. This is all fresh right here. They completely built this out, but it is 100% filled with honey, and you can see it's all capped over. But you can tell by the light color that this comb hasn't been in the hive long, and they created this comb since I put them in. This is a good sign. This is a very good sign. You see there is a lot of capped brood in here. I don't see any larvae yet, but I definitely see capped brood in here. And at this stage of the game, I wouldn't expect to see much. They've also put up a lot of nectar up here. I might go on a queen hunt here in just a minute. Aha! I did not get a queen because you can see right here. Let's see if you can get in here real close and see. Let me get in. There we go. That right there, this kind of peanutty looking thing hanging down, that is an emergency queen cell. So they drew out a queen cell on this comb using some of the pre-existing eggs or larvae that were on here. And that right there is a queen cell. There's another one right there. Didn't get drawn out as well, but it's open. I can't tell whether this one is open or not. It looks, she may actually be emerging, which would be, and there's another one they sort of started right here. You can kind of tell. So this one right here is not yet open. So it should be opening any day now. I'm not going to pull this one too close, but this is, again, all brand new comb that these bees have pulled. You can see there's quite a few of them hanging off the bottom of it, but this is completely filled with nectar and capped over honey. I don't see anything. There's not a lot going on in here as far as new bees, but I do definitely see some cells over here that look like they have some larvae in them. I can't really tell. I don't want to mess with them too much. Some of this is pollen, but there's definitely a couple of cells in here that look like they have larvae in them, and I believe there's some cap cells underneath. So if there is a queen, she's just getting started. There's not enough room in here for these to be drone cells, so I don't think that I'm dealing with drone cells here. I'm pretty sure this is queen activity, but I don't know how much I want to mess with them to see if I can find the queen. And if there is a queen in here, she is a brand new queen from the look of things. And I don't know that she's particularly potent yet as a queen, because they left that other queen cell, and she would pretty much, if she was a strong queen, she would pretty much go back there and kill off all the other queens before they had. They have, you can see in here, they have started to reattach this comb. I've held it up with the zip ties. It's not strong enough for me to take the zip ties out, but they have started to attach it at the top. Well, I think I've disturbed them enough. I'll give you a quick look on the back side of this one. I think I've disturbed them enough. I haven't seen the queen. I'll give a quick one more look, but then I think it's time to put them back down. I'm also going to tighten up this hive just a little bit. It's got a lot of room in it, so I'm putting some of the good comb in the back, giving them a lot of space to work, and then I'm going to put the feeder a little tighter in, and then give them some more room in here. And that way they won't have to defend so much of the box while they're getting built back up again. Well, I think this is fairly well got it. They seem to be doing okay. There's another queen cell developing. There may already be a queen active in the hive. There was one emergency queen cell open, but it looks like there was pretty much a guarantee that I did not get the queen when I extracted this hive. But I think I got enough. Brood and eggs and bees to transfer over to the new hive that they were able to do something to sustain themselves. So that queen cell that's in there should be hatched in another day or two. By the weekend, beginning of next week, she should definitely be out and have a mating flight. It's been a bit rainy the last couple of days. The weather's not been great, so that might be inhibiting her just a little bit. If the other queen cell, or if the other queen that hatched still hasn't mated. But it looked like there was some capped brood in there. I couldn't see real well, but it looked for me like there was some freshly capped brood, and it looked like I saw some larvae in there in addition to nectar, and pollen. Although they're not bringing a lot of pollen into the hive, which would indicate that there's a lot of brood developing. So when I start to see more pollen being brought back into the hive, then I'll be pretty confident that we've got a good, strong laying queen in there. But I'll keep an eye on them. I'm going to leave them be for at least another week, probably for more like 10 to 15 days, and then I'll check back in to see how they're doing. So I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see what happens next time.